Challenge, break down.
It's Brice and Wendell with the challenge.
Break down.
CBS reality, royalty to be crowned.
Survivor, Love Island,
Amazing Race and Big Brother.
Survivor, Love Island,
Amazing Race and Big Brother. It's Brice and Wendell with the challenge.
Break down.
It's Brice and Wendell with the challenge.
Break down.
It's Brice and Wendell with the challenge.
Break down.
Welcome to another episode of The Challenge. Breakdown. Very, very sadly, it is our final episode of the Challenge USA Challenge Breakdown coverage. Hate to come to this final episode, but what a season. I am your host, Wendell Holland. Please make sure y'all know I have a goal. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Even if you're listening to this right now, head over to the Wendell Holland YouTube page and subscribe. Get in those comments. And I'm here with the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, the talk of the town himself, the one and only Mr. Brice Isaiah. How you doing, sir?
I am good. Word on the street is they calling me the winner makers. But I am really good. This was an emotional episode for me in so many ways. Sad to see this come to an end, but you know, anytime I get to pod with my brother, I'm always excited. And speaking of my brother, that is Wendeezy Holland. You know, we are on the tour 45 right now, and we are heading to Dayton, Ohio this Wednesday for a real talk panel on a discussion of gender. And then we are having a pop-up watch party. Tickets are available. You can click the link in the Instagram bio of Brice and Wendell Present on Instagram or the Twitter. And why stop there? After that, November 22nd, we will be in our home city, Philadelphia. And if you know, and then December 5th, we are headed to New Orleans with the baby boy Rob Sesternino. We have the honor and the privilege of hosting the official welcome party. So a time will be had, and we'll see you there. Tickets are available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all those are going to be great events. Very excited for Dayton, especially to continue our Real Talk series. That's going to be a really fun one. And yeah, the events are dope, but right now it's not about the events. It's about us talking about this finale and I guess the champion maker, Mr. Brice Isaiah. But let's get into this coverage and we'll be able to talk about you and how great you are and all your whatever. We'll be able to talk about that.
I also feel like TJ knows that this is our second time covering coverage, because I feel like this episode we got to meet TJ, we got to meet JT, and we got to meet Tyreek. So I was like, okay, now TJ giving us the full gambit of all of Tyreek, JT, and TJ. But anyway,
all right. Well, shall we jump right into it?
I mean, we could jump right into the challenge. TJ welcomes us. And yes, just so we're clear, this is TJ. If you don't know that it's TJ, the collars and the buttons should be, and the pockets should be a dead giveaway that this is TJ.
It's not TJ. It's not his Macarena jacket, but he does have some strong pockets. The collars are, it's the extra tab on the collar for me. Oh yeah. Just in case, like,
you know, sometimes some people have that turkey net. So sometimes, you know, you got to be able to get around it. So TJ ain't want no problems.
Indeed. Good job, TJ. Good job. So this is a 2-day finale. And day one, we have a few different stops, right? We have a smart thing. We have a strength thing. We have a skills trial. We have a steel stomach. Let's start with the strength. I think that essentially they had to pull a sled with a bunch of heavy boxes on top of this. And We saw various techniques, but it seems like your boy.
Well, it's important to note that TJ says that through these trials, we will have the chance to skip up a minute, or if you are the last to finish, you will lose a minute. And let's make it a little more spicier. If you say, I can beat everybody in this, you could jump ahead 2 minutes.
Yes.
If
If you call your shot.
if you call your shot, if you shoot your shot and you get it, you can go ahead 2 minutes in the final. But if you lose it, you lose that 2 minutes and the additional minute. Now, mind you, I was excited.
Let's talk about your boy.
I was excited. And my main man came out and said, Corey was like, listen, I don't got too many final wins in my belt, and I got to pull out my strength. And, I'm doing this. He put out a photo. He put out a photo of me. He said, doing this for you right here. I said, okay, we started off strong.
That was the strongest. His calling himself, his saying he's so ready was the strongest that we saw him, because about 5 minutes later.
What we are not going to do
5
minutes later, Corey got a 2-minute penalty.
Did he come in last?
Okay, so first of all, Chris Underwood out the gate was giving Underwood. Now, mind you, I am in my mind watching this. I'm like, oh, Corey is going to be great. Corey is going to kill it. And then it's like, okay, Chris is in front of him, but he's still keeping up. Now, I don't know what happened between the time Chris went to go get his second 2, Fessy got 3, Bananas got 3. I was like, where the hell is Corey?
See? He was looking at too many photos of you, Brice.
Quite all right. Tori came in last place. First of all, a lot of these trials were dead close, because it seemed like Desi just grabbed that shed and threw it over while Tori, but Desi had that last wind in her. And yeah, I thought this was an interesting way to do things, but I enjoyed the trial. I think Chris is very smart. I think that at every one of these challenges, whether it's an elimination, whether it's a team, he is always thinking outside the box. He's thinking the next step ahead. He's not thinking about my brute strength. He's thinking about, how can I work harder and use less of my body? And so Chris was like, I'm going to start off and getting 3. It's impossible. Johnny Bananas with his 3 on there, like, how you know? It's impossible. Like, I was like, okay, that's smart, Chris.
Really smart. Really smart. Great job, Chris. Great job, Desi. We move on to what? The spelling bee?
To the smarts trial. Now, immediately when hold on. We move on to the smarts trial, and we get to meet JT. Okay, what's up, my brother JT? It's a little bit of the mix of TJ, but he threw on his Scully, and the Scully makes all the difference. I mean, you can even see in his body language, it's going from hey to what's good.
I was almost thinking that he was giving Tyreek here?
Tyreek. No, I feel like when you see Tyreek, you will know that this is Tyreek.
Okay, all right.
It's going to gosh, it's going from gosh darn it to mother. Okay, real quick. Okay, that's what it's giving. So what is trial 2?
Yes, this is a spelling bee. And we had some interesting spellings of some
Now, first of all, what I'm going to say is that's mine, and I'm going to stick beside him. I'm not the greatest speller either. So instantly, and I always say this, whenever I'm at home watching you know this for a fact, Wendell, when I'm watching Survivor challenges, when I'm watching challenges like this, I like to participate while I am watching. It makes it a little bit more fun. Immediately, soon as they said Alliance, I was like, you know what? I'm out. Okay. Because I know how to spell it. I know a guy. 2 L's. What? Like, but I don't know. First of all, why am I screaming? Sorry, because I'm feeling very protective of my man. But when I get nervous in situations, honestly, like my logic and words just jumble. So immediately, I'm like, I know how to spell alliance. I just literally wrote alliance like 7 minutes ago. I was saying, how spell alliance in your head, Brice? I was like, oh, ow, it's. I was like, yeah,
So
okay.
how'd you spell it, Brice?
Count me out. What we not gonna do is that right now, because now you try to get me nervous. But listen, Desi said, I know a little, I could spell a thing or two, so let me double down right here, right now. So then we got to the first word was alliance. The second word, oh, then Chris said he's a pretty good speller from 8th grade.
Who is that?
Excuse me, sir. This grown man is not an 8th grader. Okay. Chris got a strong neck in this photo. But shout out to my man, Chris the Underwood in 8th grade. Okay. But
Brice, if he's in 8th grade, that haircut might be 8th grade, but that neck is 45.
That neck is 45. The tie is 56.
The tie got a PhD, man.
Okay. The tie has been passed down from his granddaddy. Okay. Wait, time out. What do you think? Where was Chris going? Is this homecoming? Is this 8th grade?
I'm thinking.
You know what? I'm thinking 3rd day at work. I'm thinking retirement party. I'm thinking job
he was going to one of his children's graduations.
Okay, right. Okay. Off of Chris. So baby, the spelling bee got to spelling and it got the best.
What word was that?
I think it was schmoozing.
Schmoozing. SMOUSHING. Your man Corey, man.
Woo.
Your man, Brice. What did Banana say?
I don't know if it was vengeance or
Venagance.
Okay. Corey was trying to go to the Renaissance in Italy with Beyonce.
Venagance.
Okay. But bless his heart. Ultimately, Desi won that, and she got 2 minutes to jump ahead. Corey lost that for the men, and Tori lost that for the women. And now Corey is at a 4-minute deficit, and Tori is now at a 2-minute deficit. And we get to our final skill, or that was the 3rd skill or the 4th skill?
Now that was the second. We did the skills trials with the puzzle now.
Right. So now it's the 3rd skill.
Skills. So now you have a puzzle, and you can't have 4 of the same color next to each other, diagonal from each other, or anything like that. And anything to note here, Brice?
Chris killed it. I mean, no, did he kill it? No.
Nah.
Yeah, no, but Chris. But who got it first? Was it Fessy?
Yes. Another one of your mans.
Shout out to Fessel, another one of my mans. Chris got it. Bananas got it. And listen.
And Corey didn't get it. He's standing there. He would still be standing there.
Corey was like, check. TJ was like, you need to check diagonal, my man.
He had like 6 yellows and 6 blacks in a row diagonally.
And this one was a little emotional for me because Corey broke down a little bit, because here he is. He's finally made it to the He's finally made it to a final. He really wants to win. He has his beautiful girlfriend, beautiful children, me at home. And he really is like, how can I return? How are my girls going to look at me? What is Brice going to think? And so he really had a moment here. And I think a lot of people that see Corey, see this beautiful physique. They see these chiseled abs. They see a beautiful face. They see curly hair. They see beautiful hazelnut brown eyes. They see soft but
Brice,
hard hands.
Brice,
They see
nobody sees his soft but hard hands. What are you talking
uh,
about?
they smell the mint in his breath, and I think that people forget that he's a human.
I think you just described what you see in him.
I mean,
And I recall, I know that he's a human with children, and he's doing it for his family. And yeah, it was different to see this kind of breakdown from him. But it showed another aspect to him that he is a human. Yes.
perfection at its finest, but still a human. And so it's like I feel like I talked a lot about this, like with Chanel, especially in her confessionals early on, where she would talk a good game and then sometimes not perform. I feel like this is similar to Corey, where it's like I've been working my behind off. I've not gone into the elimination. I played the game. I've showed up, and it seems like when you are supposed to show up, you're not showing up. And so you're so hard on yourself. And so you need to, in those situations, sometimes you have to take a step back, recenter, think about what's important, and not give up. I think that really that is what I got here from Corey, because I mean, damn, he was 30 minutes behind.
He's been losing and losing and losing.
And so up to this point, we have Bananas has a minute start. Chris has a minute start. Fessel has a minute start. Corey has a 4-minute penalty. Jezzy has a minute start. Michaela has a minute start. Tori has no advantage, and Chanel has no advantage. That's where they people was at. Then we got to the steel stomach, and immediately I was excited. I might not be able to pull a shed as fast as everybody.
A sled.
I might not be able to spell a shed and sled.
We know.
And I, might struggle with puzzles. But the one thing I know I could do is the steel stomach. I love these eating challenges. How do you think you would have fared in this, Wendell?
Oh, you didn't ask me about any of the other ones, but you asked me about the eating challenge. Well, I played Survivor long enough to get to the eating challenge, and that didn't go so well for me. I don't think I would do well in the eating challenge, Brice. I think you would do very well at the eating challenge. I've seen you in Survivor Philly. What was it? What did you eat on that one?
I mean, that wasn't anything. That was crackers.
Oh, well, you always try to try something like, I want to taste it. So, yeah, I think you would do great at it. I think I would do terrible at it.
I also feel like at this opportunity, we got to meet Tyreek. Okay? We got to meet Tyreek. He want to know if you like some oils. He want to know if you need a scarf. He want to know, can he pump your gas for you? Okay? We get to see Tyreek. Shout out to TJ, JT, and Tyreek for showing up for TJ's final, because where will we be without you?
He wants to sell newspapers. He wants to sell bean pies. He got the Macarena jacket on. I feel like at every stage he added a new layer. And yeah, Tyreek pulled up on us.
Tyreek pulled up in this challenge. Now, I don't know all of the things that they had to eat, but I feel like people can make themselves throw up, right? Like, I feel like I hate when people, like, here's my one pet peeve. I hate when people like that's you're making yourself do that.
Brice, if I ate that stuff, I wouldn't make myself do it. The food would make me do it.
I mean, maybe it's because, never mind. I don't know, because I feel like that, like sometimes, yeah, people, I feel like you go, like you start the faking and then the realness comes. Like I don't play that. Okay, no gag reflection over here.
Reflection.
I mean,
Spell reflection for us, Brice.
RE. And we get, okay, Chanel, Tessie. Okay, they're looking like they are eating something Wendell made. Okay, that's how nasty it is.
First of all, I cook.
Chat, my baby daddy.
How's Corey doing?
He was down bad. He was down bad. Michaela, I was dying at Michaela. Michaela said, Tori looking like she enjoying it. Tori would be me. Michaela was like, that's a gas station palette. Okay. I'm fine. Why? I don't even know how to do all of that. Not a gas station palette, but I also like to say I've had some of the best chicken wings from a Rhode Island gas station before in my life. And yeah, Corey was just not doing too well in this challenge. And
or any of the other ones.
Bananas pulled out the win here. Tori pulled out the win. Tori was able to lose her deficit because she bet on herself in the eating challenge, right? And she was able to lose her deficit. So Bananas killed it.
Brice, is there something to these super vets knowing how to do eating challenges maybe a little better?
I mean, maybe because they've been forced to it, but I also feel like a lot of the survivors that are left aren't in the original Survivor era. There always used to be a food challenge, and so they've kind of gotten away from it. And I don't really know on Michaela or Chris's. Well, I definitely know on Chanel's season there wasn't an eating challenge. I don't know. I grew up on a time when I used to get home from school. Fear Factor used to be on. Do you remember Fear Factor?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. They would do all kinds of crazy things and eat all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah, I got in trouble because I don't remember what grade it was, but it was me and my next door neighbor Ben, and we were watching Fear Factor. We was like, I bet you can, I bet you can. So we came up with some concoction of like random stuff in my house to make, and this of all days, Barb would come home early, and I got my tail beat in front of my friend. My mom was like, don't go nowhere, Ben. Like, how did you go and discipline me in front of my friend?
I've been there. Senior has done that in front of my friends too. Trust and believe. Cliff especially.
And then it's like, when you're getting disciplined in front of your friends, it's like, you're trying not to act like it hurts. And then that only makes the parent try to discipline you more. And then it's like, then you have to like start the flood works to get it to snap. Like, yeah. But I used to always want to try those eating challenges.
Well, you would do well at that one. So Tori and Bananas win. Sadly, Corey and Chanel lose that one. And Brice, then that completes day one.
Day one. We all kind of chilling. Now, I have a little PTSD from last season because I just knew when they were at the fire kind of chilling that TJ was going to come and they were going to have to work through the night or something. I was ready for it, but it never came.
No, they did.
Oh.
It didn't make the episode.
Oh.
And I don't know the length of it, but I saw all over Instagram, whether it was Bananas Instagram or somebody, they had to stand on little perches for however long throughout the night. So this didn't make the episode, but it's like little square boxes, like a foot by a foot. That's like 2 feet off the ground, and you just have to stand there. So I don't know what the rules of that were, but that
yeah, because I'm like, normally they you don't get to sleep at night on the challenge. And I'm thinking, well, what's happening? But okay, come on, shout out to you.
See? Yeah. So anyway, we get into day two. Race start. We have Bananas with a 2-minute head start. We have Chris, Michaela, Tori, Fessy, and Desi with a minute head start. We have Chanel with a minute penalty, and you can finish the rest for us, Brice.
And Corey has to wait some time. Uh,
Corey has a half-hour wait penalty.
he does, and everyone's getting ready to go. Bananas takes off.
By the way, this is a 10-mile race with many stops in between.
Yes, with some stops to get ahead and some advantages. I thought it was interesting. Oh, mind you, my bad.
Uh-oh.
Tyreek has reappeared again.
Did Joey Hatch lend him the jacket,
I
or
feel like I don't know. But I know Senior definitely lended him this Scully. This Scully looked like it's been through the night. I feel like Tyreek slept in that. Tyreek looked a little tired himself in this photo right here.
my goodness?
But Johnny takes off. Or they're all getting ready. Johnny takes off for his 2-minute challenge. You got my mans, Corey and Fessel. Now, I was cracking up because at the start of the second heat, where the people that have a minute advantage, when I watched the episode, I'm like, why is Corey lining up with them? Like, if you watch the episode, Corey lines up and is like getting down like he's about to run. Now, I'm like, Corey.
He was just practicing.
And then he did it again with Chanel. I was like, okay, but now here is what cracked me up. So you have the GoPro footage, right? And so you can see everybody in the GoPro footage. Now, why would they do Bananas like that? So clearly Bananas is at this 2-minute start.
Yeah.
And then everyone else starts. And the first camera outside of Peaches, that is Bananas, that we see is Fessel's camera. And in Fessel's first shot, they point out, boop, Johnny Bananas. Like, why is Fessel right there? Fessel's like, I'm right on his heels. I had to smoke him. And so their first stop is a axe throwing. And if you can get the axe to throw and hit on the wood, and I think you have like 5 times to do it, you can go. Now, I don't remember the particulars about how the fast pass roll. Is it only for the first 2 people, or if you get
if you get it?
Got it. Okay. So Chris is there, boom, he get it. Johnny Bananas is there, boom, he get it. Now, I wasn't sure too much what Fessel was doing. But again, Fessel was saying, like, I'm hitting it. Like, this ain't darts, Fessel. It's axe. You got to kind of like, I've gone to one of those axe throwing places, and it is a little hard. But for me, it's all in like the throw, right? Like, you have to throw it so the axe will. Now, I'm not explaining it well, but I could show you.
You're going to show us.
I mean, if I were at an axe throwing place, I could show you. But, I mean, it seemed like Fessel was doing good. A lot of the people were like, I've never even touched the axe before. And they're just coming and going. Now, interesting enough with this, if you hit the axe, you can then, I believe it's like 10 to 20 pound rock. And you can bypass, I don't know if it was 3 miles.
Yeah, you take a shortcut. And if you don't hit it, you get a 1.2 mile extension. That's what we do now. So that is a lot of extra running.
That it is. And the next gate or the next
well, we have
okay.
Fessy misses his, Michaela hits hers, Desi hits hers, Tori fails.
But you know who don't fail?
Oh, so we're not so we just jump right
Okay.
right from the axes to okay. So Chanel hits hers and Corey hits his. Great, right? So now we get to risk station 2. This is balancing the rocks. And you look at the left-hand side and you see the quantity of rocks that are in that. And then you have to, It's like the scales of justice. You have to put enough rocks on the other side and then pull a lever and see if you put the right amount so that the rocks don't lean all the way to one side.
But there is only 3 stations there.
2.
2.
There are only 2 stations there. Chris gets there. I'm sorry. Chris gets there first, and he does it right. He hits. He just balances it. Great job. Fest gets there, and they're like, "Bruh, you took the. We told
you the shortcut." Now, if I'm Fessel, one, I feel like
he was trying to get over Brice.
And I'm not mad because I ain't mad. Sometimes, but I really do feel like someone should have stopped him. Like I just feel like somebody should have stopped him.
Nah. He was trying to get over. You don't ask for permission, you ask for forgiveness. He was trying to get over, and they caught him. So Fest got to run back. He has to run back a half a mile so he can make up a whole mile. Desi and Michaela arrive at the same time, and Michaela's like thinking for a second, like,
"Oh, give me that rock." Listen. First of all, shout out to 3 sisters that have made it to the final, that have stuck together. But listen, when we in the final, and I ain't mad, but I also feel like, again, Michaela has played this before. Desi has made it to the final before. It's these little nuances that I feel like we continuously see Bananas and Tori showing us throughout the season. But right here was the time that I was like, Desi has seen enough. Because
she made a veteran move as a second-time player.
Desi said, we ran together. We caught our breath together, but what we not going to do is do the rock thing together. And I question if this was a $250,000 decision that Michaela decided to do, because which in my mind, if I'm thinking like Amazing Race, but Brooke always says on Amazing Race, if you get to one of these things, don't risk doing the other thing. Just wait. If she would have waited, it would have been a neck and neck game with her and Desi. But oftentimes, I see where she was coming from, right? Like, I ain't about to wait. Let me just.
Bro, that was a $250,000 decision she made. She was in game mode. She did that. I was so proud of her making that move. Like, if you ain't going, I'm jumping. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this. We're not waiting.
Yeah. And sometimes, when you're with your friends and you be like, and that's what Desi had to say. Clap, clap. Nope. Enzo did this to me. No, I am not playing. So I was like, go ahead, Desi.
And we ain't playing nice. We played nice to get everyone to this stage. So now it's time. The gloves are off. All right, shake hands, hug each other. Now we're playing for one winner. The 3 of us can work together the whole game. We've come as far as we can get, and now it's go time. And she did that. That was great.
And Corey finally gets there.
Wait a minute. Michaela then just decides, whatever, I'm gonna just run the long route. So I thought that was a smart move on her behalf also, because all right, while they're over here fumbling, whatever, I'm gonna just go the long route and get it started, which is longer. But hey, what if Desi messed up a couple times or whatever? So
we only got one try to do it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I feel like she should have waited.
I feel like Michaela getting the jump wasn't a bad move. Anyway,
no, it wasn't a bad move. She didn't know what was ahead of her. Us as viewers could see that. Wait, let Desi do it. She got it. You get the rock, and then you would have still been in foot race mode.
True, and also she could have seen how much Desi put in.
Well, right.
That too. So, but I think there's a more important issue at hand, because your man finally gets to it.
He does.
How did he get it?
He got it. He got the keys to the car. Then
has he ever driven you around? Is he a good driver?
He is. He liked me to wear my seatbelt.
As you should.
So then what I thought was disrespectful, well, two things I thought was disrespectful. Tori got there and she ultimately was the last woman, so she was eliminated. By the time Festival got back, he was the last person eliminated. Not TJ couldn't even stay and wait.
Nah.
This how you know he was in Tyreek mode.
He was like, you know what? And somebody got an index card.
Right.
Somebody
Let me just write them a note.
just scribble something down.
Now, here is another thing that I want to know. So we know that Michaela and Bananas, they didn't. Michaela left, Bananas got it wrong, right? I want to know who was the person that when they passed Bananas, they beat the horn. Did you hear the horn beep?
Nah.
Now that's disrespectful. And I think it might have been Corey. Why would y'all beat the horn like that? I'm like, that is so disrespectful. But
funny.
We got Michaela and Johnny walking, and we got Desi, Chris, Chanel, and Corey driving. Okay. Corey is now in third place because of his driving skills.
Desi passes Michaela in the car. Corey passes Bananas in the car. Yeah. Now the last challenge is a block stacking challenge where you have to stack the cinder blocks that have all the past challengers' names on them in order of when they were eliminated.
Chris was like, now I know the parts of everybody y'all sent home, and they did the flash, and it's like, oh.
He got bodies.
He got bodies on bodies on bodies.
Yeah, respect. That was
What's your body count, Chris?
Yeah, he got bodies.
Now,
crazy
what
to see.
I didn't like about this challenge was if you got there around the same time that someone else is finishing, you could easily just look and see what they had. And yeah, I wish this challenge was a little bit more spaced out.
I hear you. We did have people knocking them over, whatever. But yeah,
I mean,
they still felt like this, like, okay, I can read them easier now.
Okay, is that Sebastian got like okay, and after this, it's
a foot race. We get Chris. Chris gets his first, then Corey, then Desi, then Bananas, then Chanel, then Michaela, and people start running, and then Michaela has a little she gets a little gassed. And Michaela's a beast. If she didn't prove it all season, Michaela is a beast. So this is a testament to how hard this final is. Maybe her pride was a little hurt too. I don't know. Being that she was in last place, but she just ran.
Right.
Yeah, so and the other people had breaks where they could just drive up the damn mountain.
Right.
So, yeah, that was tough to see.
Do you think, say Chanel is the last person driving. What if she picked up Michaela?
Ain't nobody doing that.
I mean, I know, but like if that
works, a producer would be like, nah. I'd say a producer wouldn't allow it. Or if you're a smart producer, you allow it. Like, you're stupid for picking her up, but go right ahead. Okay. This car got 2 seats. What's up? Need a ride?
Because listen, Corey, get in. And then, a chugga. It's a chugga. It's a chugga. It's a chugga Underwood. And Underwood pulls out a win. And I think, and he has said this throughout the whole episode, throughout the whole season, a lot of people in the Survivor community discredit his Survivor win, or they treat it like it's not a real win because he was voted out third boot. Shout out to the third boots out there. He went to Edge of Extinction, came back, gave up his necklace, went to fight. Like, he earned his win. And so I really hope that this, because I feel like when people talk about things like that, right? Like, I talk about like, being third boot, how I've turned it into something positive. But like, there's that piece of you that still is tender. And I feel like I really hope that this vindicates Chris, knowing that he is a real winner. Well, he's always been a real winner, but like I really hope that this kind of shows the people that Underwood ain't to be messed with.
Yeah. Although he was a third boot,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
He came back in and got that mill. So
I had the opportunity,
like the golden parachute. But I think that this definitely shows that Chris is a competitor. He proved so much to me this season. And I will also venture to say that he might even be better suited for the challenge than even Survivor. He ran circles around a lot of these challenge vets. This man was the most feared man he might not have stepped into the challenge the most feared man, but he turned himself into the most feared man in that game. Respect.
That's my man, and I'm sticking beside him. And coming in second place for the men is my baby daddy, Corey. Now, this might not be the win that he wants, but for him to have had that day that he had yesterday, and for him to give it his best foot forward today during this challenge and coming in second, like, look at that. Two of my men together. Really was a testament to not giving up. And I mean, although first of all, Corey is always a winner in my book. So that's just that. And then a chugger. And not my girl, Desi, pulling up. Y'all know, okay. Y'all know I was so hyped. Y'all know that's my girl. And Desi and Chris, they have won. I am excited. I love this. First of all, I love this photo so much. All my three favorite people from this whole season, all in one photo. I love this so much because don't play with Survivor. People been sleeping on Survivor. Survivor spanked them last season with Sarah and Danny, and now we coming with my boobs, Chris and Desi. I was so excited.
I was too, man. I was on the verge of tears watching them and I tweeted something. I was like, some really good people won, and you don't always see like the good people winning these shows, and they came out here and really did it, and it's just so impressive. And they're like I was so happy. They're my friends as well, Brice, and they're your friends as well. And I was just very, very happy for these good people to go out there and win it. So
I was really happy with the whole final. Everyone that ran it, right? Like, I wasn't mad at Tori. I wasn't mad at the Peaches. I was rooting for. I mean, honestly, it could have been Chris, Corey, or Fessel. I would have been ecstatic. It could have been Desi, Michaela. I would have been really ecstatic. Like, I was so happy and excited for this final. And yeah, like I just was happy for it. And I like to toot my own horn.
Here he goes. Go ahead and toot it. Go ahead and toot it first.
But a little toot toot. I have listened to some of the podcasts out there. And Chris,
now you want to listen to some podcasts.
And Chris and Desi did the challenge podcast, and they talked about, and Tori was there, and they talked about how they had this hidden alliance that like they were going to work together. And they asked Tori. Tori was like, in the beginning, I couldn't see it, but towards the end, I realized that they were working together. And they call the baby boy the winner picker. And I dearly love Desi and I love Chris. They are very good friends of mine. But you know what? Instead of me talking, let the people talk.
Friend. So I think going into the game, our mutual friend was like, Chris is a good guy. Like, don't listen to what everybody says about him. Like, Chris is a good guy. So I kind of, trusted that friend's judgment. I was like, I want to work with Chris. As we got further into the
you keep
game,
saying that friend, Desi, like it's code. You keep saying this friend, that mutual friend. Who's the mutual friend?
His name is Brice. Brice.
We'll give him a shout out. Brice Isaiah.
Yeah,
Isaiah,
right.
my sister wife, give a little shout out to the Purple Pants podcast.
From the Purple Pants podcast.
Are you guys going to take Brice to dinner?
Brice, you got it.
So, couple of things to clear up there. One, did you hear how Underwood addressed me?
Yes. He said that his friend is Brice.
His sister wife. Okay? So, thank you. For y'all that be thinking I'm lying all the time, I'm not lying. But secondly, when I heard rumblings of everybody going out, I wanted to make sure, the Brice presence is felt. I might not have been on TV a long time, but I'm a real person and I make real connections. And I had the pleasure of making sure that they knew each other and that they knew where they stood with me. And if you're good with Brice, you'll never know where that can take you. Second, I think first of all, again, just shout out to our friends because that's super big. So yeah, it was exciting. I didn't know how Desi did, but I will say that I was, her loved one call. And so I was talking with Desi maybe like once every other week. We would like do a group FaceTime with Desi while she was out there with her mom and her fiance. And, just sending encouraging words. And then the phone call stopped. And I'm like, oh God, and then I don't know. But to see it all play out just warms my heart.
Good job, Brice. Your people won. Good job, champion maker.
Okay.
So, Brice, if you're such a champion maker, then why don't you go on there and make yourself a champion?
Call my phone, TJ.
We might have to get somebody to leak your phone number so they got it.
Call my phone, TJ.
So yeah, kudos, Brice. Your people won. 2 survivors win. It was a great season.
It really was. I mean, last season was great, but I mean, this season
way better.
I'll say that it was way better in the sense that how I felt with the vets coming. Prior to me knowing who the vets were, when because first of all them internet Twitter sites, they be having all the tea. And there was rumored that the vets were coming, and you and I had a long discussion. And I'm like, why are they doing this? The only reason why I like this is because it's not like I was pissed. Then when I saw Corey coming on I said, well, all right, we can make a little pass for Corey. But honestly, and I say, I love Desi, love Chris. But in my opinion, one of the VIPs of the season for me was Josh Martinez. Like I was tuning in to be like, what is Josh going to do today? How is he going to stir the pot? How he going to So I was all around from Tiffany, get your down here, from Amanda in the beginning, cussing Michelle out, from Michelle jumping from side to side to side to side, but still keeping it cute. From Monty, this season I enjoyed this season.
Me too. It was great. It was great. They did that. And I think, like we've said before, introducing the MTV people to it, it took what was it added a lot of entertainment value. They know how to make TV.
And it's funny, right? Because I even think if they would have just had the vets in the beginning with everyone else, right? I think that we would have known that they were targets. But even the way that they had them introduced kind of like set the stage for how they would be perceived by the others. But no, this was a good season, and I'm glad we covered it here. The challenge break down.
Brice, I appreciate you you covering this again. This was a fun season, and maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe we'll talk about some other things. Maybe we will maybe we won't talk about it computer to computer.
Are you gonna get me a podcast space or what? I've been waiting on that.
I mean, what do I get out of it?
You get to hang out with me.
Well, that's a negative.
Damn. All right. Well, I got things to do, brother. I have to put the Suburban in the shop because
you have. Oh, that's right. I was like, I thought it was Monday.
No, I'm gonna drop it off tonight, and I'm gonna walk home because, you know, the check engine light likes to always pop on, especially when you drive it.
I didn't drive the Chevy, so blame that with somebody else. I didn't drive the Chevy. Thanks, though. But listen, this has been your challenge breakdown coverage. Shout out to my sister wife. Shout out to my good bestie Desi. Shout out to my man Corey.
Oh yeah, I had one more question, Brice.
Mm-hmm.
We heard all of the things that you've been saying all season were corroborated on the challenge official podcast, Devin and Tori, except for.
Did you listen to Corey's interview?
No.
Oh, okay. So get back to me after you listen to Corey's interview.
There was no Corey interview. So in other words, he is not your man. Okay, Desi and Chris, yes, those are your people. Corey is not your man.
He followed me on Twitter.
Instagram?
I mean, listen, we'll come back and we'll report that later. No, but seriously, it's been fun. What I'm going to do without seeing Corey every week?
I don't know.
I might have to start watching the challenge, seeing who I can lust over now. But all right, well, this has been fun. Wendeezy, thank you again for covering the challenge season 2 of the USA Challenge. This has been a Brice and Wendell present the challenge takedown.
It's Brice and Wendell with the challenge
breakdown.
It's Brice and Wendell with the challenge
Breakdown.